Okay, so Spuhr, most known for their scope mounts, they have decided to throw their hat in the ring in a very well-saturated rifle chassis market.
3, 2, 1.
The thing is, though, I think they nailed it with this one. It is set up right now to be for either a short-action Remington 700 or its clones, or for a Tikka T3X. Quick note on that, it is not going to fit out of the box, it's not going to fit a T1X, so keep that in mind. Now the first thing you notice when you pick up this chassis is that it is extremely solid. I mean, you can expect that coming from a very reputable brand like Spuhr, but the machining on this is just superb and everything is extremely stiff and solid. There's no wiggle, there's no rattle, it's all very sturdy. At just under 5.5 pounds, it is more weight appropriate for something like target shooting or PRS. And we can see more of that design motivation here with a whole bunch of the other features that you see on this chassis. The forend is 16 inches long, which gives you a ton of real estate for movement of your bipod fore and aft. And it also gives you some room for supporting positions in the awkward sort of shooting postures that you see in PRS. It also has an Arca rail on the bottom, which all the cool kids in PRS are using, and it has a whole bunch of these mounting accessory screw holes scattered throughout the rifle. And there's a lot of them. 81 to be exact. Now these are the same screw holes that you see on Spuhr's scope mounts. So if you want to add things like cosine indicators, Picatinny rails, red dot mounts, you can even put a notepad attachment to the mag well here so you can write your dopes down for that stage. On the front of the mag well, you will see that it has a textured barricade stop right here. As far as sling mounts, you have flush cups on the left and right side up here on the forend. Then you have one on the left side of the chassis here. Moving down a bit, we come to the pistol grip of the chassis. Now in PRS, you do see a lot of vertical grips, not ones that are swept back a little bit. That seems to be the trend based off of the types of positions that are often found there. And this grip, I mean, I don't normally like vertical grips. My hands just don't agree with them typically, but this one feels very, very nice. It has a very nice palm swell to it, has a very slightly soft texture, and just the overall shape of it is one of my favorites for vertical grips, even though it has a very slight taper to it. It's also symmetrical, so if you want to shoot this chassis left-handed, it is the same on the left and right. Now, if you do want to change this, because a lot of PRS is customizing your stuff to fit you, if you do want to change this, just like most chassis, standard AR-15 type grip, so that's easy to do. One thing I do like about this grip is that it is very friendly for various types of grips, whether you want to have more of a traditional grip like this, or if you want to thumb it over here, as many do, or even, and this is my favorite, I actually like the thumbs up position here because after you shoot, your hand's already in the right position to work that bolt, so you can speed up your cycling a little bit doing that. The last thing I want to mention on the grip is that you can move it fore and aft on these little grooves here, so you can fine-tune your trigger reach. So you just loosen some screws up here and you can set it and then retighten. Moving back a little bit, the stock does fold over the bolt and clicks in like that. Again, very, very sturdy, very solid feel. And if you do notice that the hinge area is starting to loosen up over the years, because metal on metal, you are going to get some rub there. It has this little piece here on the hinge area. So if this is starting to loosen up, you'll see a gap between the little claw here and the hole that it rides in. So you can loosen these 3 screws, slightly reposition this little piece here, and you can completely remove any slop that may develop during the life of the chassis. Going back to the buttstock, we see a 3-way adjustability to it with the comb height, the length of pull, and also the butt pad itself can be adjusted for height. And all of these will adjust quickly without tools. The length of pull will go from 13 to 15 inches, and to that point, it is, I think, the quickest mechanism for adjusting the length of pull that I've ever seen. Right now it's in its closest setting, but just with a matter of hitting that, you can go right out to the maximum of 15. And you can actually set the limit for how you want this to go. So in PRS shooting, there's a lot of different types of positions that you might be in. So for the first stage, or the first part of the stage, you could have it at its shortest, for example, and then in a different position, you can quickly just hit it to the next pre-selected length. Now that's something that is also valuable if you share the rifle for people with different statures or if you're wearing different types of gear, but mostly it comes down to the position that you're in that necessitates that speed. The butt pad adjusts vertically, as you saw there, little button right here that you press, and it can go to one of 3 pre-selected heights there. And I do like this feature on rifle chassis a lot because PRS especially is all about fitting your rifle to you, and the height of the butt pad can really help with getting your rifle fitted. So that'll wrap up the Spuhr Ideal Chassis system. If you have any questions on it, please give us a call. We'd be happy to talk about this chassis on the phones with you. Also, comment below and tell us what sort of features on a chassis for target or tactical or PRS type shooting, what features or qualities do you look for most? If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe. You can also find us on Facebook and Instagram, and we'll see you next time.